Hello, every pony Scar 89 here with another fanfic reading, and today I'm going to be reading a kind of a weird one that I'm determined to read all in one day because it's only 4,000 words long, but it has like 10 chapters to it, so each one is like 200 to 500, like under 1,000 words. Ugh. And it's called My Little Warriors: The Final Battle. It's apparently a Warriors and My Little Pony crossover, and if you're not familiar with Warriors, it's a book series I actually really enjoy a lot. Um, but I'm skeptical that this is going to be bad, but it has 16 likes and only 2 dislikes. And people say that it's good in the comments, so I'm going to read it. Okay, without further ado, here we go. My Little Warriors: The Final Battle, Prologue. Rarity and Fluttershy were walking together towards Twilight's house. "What do you think it is Twilight wants to show us?" Fluttershy asked. I don't know, darling, but knowing Twilight, whatever it is going to be impressive," Rarity said. Fluttershy nodded, and they walked the rest of the way in silence. Within 5 minutes, they reached the library. Rarity knocked on the door, and Twilight opened it. "I'm glad you're here. You're the last ones," she said, pulling them inside. As Twilight said, they were the last ones there. As Twilight said, they were the last ones there. Pinky, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash were already there. Uh, "We're all here, so hurry up already," said Dash impatiently. "Hold on, Dash," she said, levitating a book in front of her, as she pointed her horn at an apple on a stool. Twilight took one last look at the book and set it down. Then her horn started to glow as she built up magic. She then released it at the apple. Suddenly, though, a dark energy appeared in front of it, absorbing the spell. Um, "What is that? What's happening?" Rarity asked, panicking a little as it started to move out to fill the room. "Is that supposed to happen?" Applejack asked. "No, it's not. Something is wrong. We have to get out of here," Twilight said, but it was too late. The sound of darkness enveloped them all. They were unconscious, so they couldn't feel their bodies hit the forest floor. That's the end of the prologue. Chapter 1: The Patrol. A little over an hour later, Twilight roused. The first thing she noticed was she was no longer in the library. "Where am I?" she wondered out loud. She saw 5 strange-looking cats, one a bluish-gray, one a pure white, one golden yellow, one orange, and the last one a light brownish-red. She tried getting up, but her body felt strange. She figured this was because she was a little weak from casting that spell. So she lay there, resting for a bit. After a few minutes, she tried getting up again, and succeeded only to find herself staring down at furry paws. She blinked and looked back at the 5 cats, only just now realizing how much they resembled her friends. She looked back down again, to find she still had paws. She looked behind her to see a sleek body of a cat and a twitching tail. There was no mistaking it. She had become a bluish-black coated cat. Instead of reacting how most people would, she walked over to her friends and one by one shook them from their sleep. They each had different reactions. "Oh my! Oh my! Even as a cat, I still look fabulous. Aw, man, how am I supposed to fly now? Well, how do you like that? Wowie, this is cool! Girls, girls, girls!" Twilight said, trying to get their attention. They immediately became quiet. Twilight took a long breath and let it out. "We need to find out where we are, why we're cats, and how we are going to change back," she said. Applejack spoke up. "We're in the Everfree Forest, so maybe we can see if Sakura has a potion or something." That's what I thought at first too, but look around," Twilight said, giving them a minute to observe their surroundings. "The Everfree Forest is different. This is a different forest," Twilight pointed out. "Well, then what are we gonna do?" Applejack asked. I'm sorry if my Applejack's really bad. It's always been bad. Anyway, they sat in silence, pondering what to do when their thoughts were interrupted by a voice. "Well, well, well. Look at what we have here. Kitty pets!" In ThunderClan earlier this morning. I'll take Lion Blaze, Ivy Pool, and Berry Nose for the morning patrol along the Shadow Clan border, Brambleclaw, the deputy, said. The selected cats gathered around the entrance of the camp, waiting for Brambleclaw to finish up patrols for the day. After he was done, Brambleclaw joined the cats waiting by the gorse bush. "Let's go," he said, walking out of camp. The others followed behind him. Everything along the border seemed fine, and about halfway through, Lion Blaze scented a mouse and fell into a hunter's crouch, easily catching it. He quickly ate it in a few bites. "No! No! No!" Oh wait, no, they're on patrol. Never mind, forget it. Okay. He quickly ate it in a few bites, and they continued patrolling, making sure to stop every few tail lengths to make sure of renew the border markings. There was no trouble along the Shadow Clan border, but when they were almost done patrolling the lakeside, Ivy Pool caught a strange cat scent. Her fur stood on end, and she let out a small hiss. "What is it?" Lion Blaze asked. "I smell strange cats," she said. The other lifted their heads and gave a few sniffs, confirming what she had said. Berry Nose let out a hiss of his own. "Kitty pets!" They followed the scent a little way from the lake shore, a clearing where some marigold was growing. There they found 6 well-fed kitty pets. They stepped out into the clearing, and Brambleclaw said, "Well, well, well, look at what we have here. Kitty pets." Chapter 2. The Clan. They turned around to see a dark brown tabby with a cream-colored, a golden tabby, and a silver and white tabby behind him. They gathered together as the cats surrounded them. "Follow me," said the brown tabby before walking off. "Twilight, darling, what should we do?" asked Rarity. "Nothing," said Twilight. We should and can't do anything. We don't know where we are, so we should follow them. Maybe they'll know." They walked the rest of the way in silence until they reached a barrier of thorns. "We're here," he said, walking to a tunnel going through the vegetation. They hesitated, and the cream-colored one let out a growl. They walked through the bushes to find a large number of cats scattered around a clearing, some looking hostile and with their fur sticking out, and some just looking curious. Just then a cat came out of the rock pile in the middle and jumped down, walking towards them. He had a flame-colored pelt. The tabby gave a quick bow and said, Firestar, Brambleclaw," he replied. What? Oh, okay. "Firestar, Brambleclaw," he replied. "Why have you brought these cats into the camp?" Jayfeather was agitated, wondering what that prophecy he got 2 moons ago meant. It didn't help that it was almost leaf bare, and there was absolutely no fresh kill in camp. He hadn't eaten since yesterday. Luckily, there were 2 hunting patrols out, one of which Dove Ring was on, so there should be plenty more prey soon. Just then, a commotion broke out in camp, and he smelled strange cats. He quickly walked outside into the clearing where a crowd was gathering. He sat next to Lion Blaze and asked him, "What's going on?" "We found 6 kitty pets in our territory," he replied. He froze. "6 cats? What do they look like?" he asked. Lion Blaze described them to... Just a minute. Sorry about that. My siblings were being stupid. Where was I? Blah, blah, blah. He froze. "6 cats? What do they look like?" he asked. Lion Blaze described them to him, and he knew instantly that they were the cats spoken of in the prophecy. That's when Firestar said, "Run them out, and teach them not to intrude in ThunderClan territory again." "Wait!" Jayfeather called out. Ponies. They watched with unease as all the cats gathered around them. "Well?" the flame-colored one asked again. "I found these kitty pets in our territory," the brown tabby said. Twilight was wondering what a kitty pet was. They had mentioned it several times already. Then she noticed a gray tabby come out of a cave and sit next to one of the cats that had brought them here. She sensed something about him, but changed her attention to the flame-colored cat when he started talking. "Run them out, and teach them not to intrude in ThunderClan territory again," he said, making her heart sink. If they were run out now, they might never find out where they were and how to get back. Just then, the gray tabby she noticed earlier spoke out. Wait! Chapter 3. The Newcomers. Everyone turned to the gray cat. What is it, Jayfeather? Asked the one called Firestar. I had a prophecy about these cats, Jayfeather said. A prophecy? No, a prophecy? What the hey is he talking about? Applejack asked Twilight. I think it means he was expecting us, replied Twilight. The cats started whispering amongst themselves, and Firestar asked, What was this prophecy? StarClan told me that 6 cats would come to the clan, and that we would have to show them our ways, Jayfeather said. A knowing glance passed between them, and Firestar nodded. Well then, if StarClan has declared it, we shall bring these cats into ThunderClan, Firestar said. Suddenly, there were yells of disagreement. Look at them! They're just kitty pets! One said. Yeah! Why should we let them into our clan? Another asked. Firestar said, Silence! And everyone was quiet immediately. If Jayfeather has had a prophecy, then we must listen, he said. The arguments quickly quieted down. Jayfeather, if you would see to them, he said, and the gray cat nodded. The group started to dissipate as they followed Jayfeather into the cave he had come out of, with the golden cat he had sat next to earlier walking next to them. They sat down on some moss in the cave, and the girl sat down in front of them. After a while, Rainbow Dash got agitated and asked, What are we waiting for? They'll be here soon, the golden one said. Dovering couldn't help but be distracted by the commotion in the camp. Her tail accidentally brushed against the leaves covering the ground, alerting the thrush she was stalking. Luckily, she was fast enough to catch it, though. Are you okay? Are you okay? Brightheart asked. You seem a little distracted. Dovering shook her head and said, I'm fine. We should get back to camp now. I think we have enough fresh kill. Brightheart said, What? Oh, okay, this was two. I'm fine. We should get back to camp now. I think we have enough fresh kill, Brightheart said. Dovering nodded, and they dug up the squirrel, and 2 mice Dovering caught, and the 2 voles and mouse Brightheart caught. When they returned to camp, it was almost sunhigh, and everybody was chatting. Firestar walked up to them, and Brightheart asked, What's going on around here? Sounds like something happened while we were out of camp. I'm sure your clanmates will fill you in on it. Dovering, follow me, he said as they sat down their catch on the fresh kill pile, or where it would be. Dovering followed Firestar into the medicine cat's den, where Lion Blaze, Jayfeather, and the 6 strange cats were sitting. Dovering took a seat next to Lion Blaze, and Firestar sat next to Jayfeather. Firestar nodded to Jayfeather, and he started. Wait, I think this is Jayfeather saying it. Okay. Now that Dovering and Firestar are here, I will explain, he said. It happened 2 moons ago during my trip to the moon pool. Chapter 4. Yellowfang's Prophecy. It was the half moon, the time where medicine cats from each clan It was the half moon, the time where medicine cats from each clan gather at the moon pool to share tongues with their ancestors. Halfway there, he met Wind Clan's medicine cat, Crestler Flight. The Grey Tom mewed a greeting, and Jayfeather mewed one back, and they walked the rest of the way in silence. Ever since a few moons ago, the clans split apart. Even the medicine cats, who usually had no boundaries, had been divided. They were the first ones to the moon pool, so they waited for a while until Little Cloud and Mothwing and her apprentice Willowshine appeared. They all mewed greetings to each other and took a seat by the water. They bent down to touch the cold water with their noses. Almost immediately, StarClan sent them to sleep. When he awoke, he saw Yellowfang. "Yellowfang!" he exclaimed, happy to see the old ThunderClan medicine cat. Hello, Jay Feather, she said in the raspy voice of hers. I have a prophecy for you. That's not how it works. This person obviously knows his warriors, he just doesn't get how it's written. I'm sorry. She told him. He froze immediately. A prophecy? He asked. Yes, a prophecy, she said. They were silent for a bit until Jayfeather asked, What is it? Her eyes glazed over as she started talking. 6 cats shall come who know nothing of our ways. You must teach them and train them because they shall help in the battle with the dark forest and shall bring back harmony to the clans. I just lost my place. Oh, she returned to normal as Jayfeather asked, "Who are these cats? How will I know? How will I know them?" I do not know who these cats are, but I do know what they would look like, she said. Then she, then, oh, sorry. Then she described you to me, said Jayfeather, finishing the story. Well, asked Firestar, what will you do? We we need a minute, said Twilight, finding it all a little hard to take in. She gathered up the others and started talking. So what do you girls say? She asked them. It's okay with me. I mean, if you don't mind, said Fluttershy. Well, we can't just leave after hearing that, said Rarity. Sounds like fun, said Pinky. What do you think? I'm in, said Rainbow Dash. I want to help too, but do you think we should tell them we're not cats? Asked Applejack. I thought about it too, but it can't be a mere coincidence that we turned into cats that look the same as from a prophecy. I say we help them, Twilight said, and turned back to the cats. We will help you, she said. And now I have to stop because there's talking downstairs and I can't focus. Okay, I am back and I'm going to finish this reading. Okay. Firestar dipped his head in gratitude and said, Thank you. I have a few questions, though, she continued. What's StarClan and what's a kitty pet? All these questions shall be answered in due time, said Firestar. For now, you should rest. I'll send someone with something to eat for you. With that, he and the golden cat and the pale gray cat got up and left. We should get a bit of rest, Twilight said, laying down. The others agreed and laid down themselves, some watching as Jayfeather worked. He pulled out a small pile of some plants and sniffed at it. We're low on marigold, he commented. Rainbow Dash opened one of her eyes and said, No, duh! Can't you tell just by looking at it? Jayfeather looked straight at her with his unblinking eyes. No, I can't, he said. I'm blind. They all gasped when they heard this, and Dash started apologizing. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to offend you or anything. I would never. She was cut off by Jayfeathers. Don't worry about it. You didn't know. Everyone went quiet again until Fluttershy asked, How long have you been blind? If you don't mind me asking, that is. Jayfeather shook his head and said, I don't mind. I've been blind my entire life. Which made the others gasp again. Your whole life, darling? That must be terrible. To not be able to see anything? Rarity said. Well, that's not entirely true, he said. What does that mean? Twilight asked. I can see in my dreams. I have a gift, but let's not worry about that right now. Food is here, Jayfeather said, staring at the moss covering the entrance to the cave. Chapter 5. Determination. What came next disgusted them. In stepped a black cat, holding a dead squirrel and rabbit in her mouth. She walked over to them and set the rabbit down. Then she sat next to Jayfeather and dropped the squirrel. Think Hollyleaf, he said, taking a bite out of it. They were appalled at this. He was eating what had once been a live animal. Reddy could never imagine her opal Wopal doing such a thing. Actually, I think Yeah, because remember that episode? What was it? The one with Spike and Owl's Well that ends well. Oh no, wait, that was Owlicious. Oh no, but it was Toy Mouse. That's right. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Holly, Holly Leaf took notice that they weren't eating. Not hungry? She asked. Twilight's stomach growled. I'm hungry. It's just. She cut off, looking for the proper words. Never had rabbit before? Uh, or never have rabbit before? Asked Hollyleaf. Twilight shook her head. Man, I'm slurring my words like crazy today for some reason. I don't know why. Um, where was it? Oh, okay. You should. It's not as good as. Or, you should. It's not as good as mice, but it's better than that kitty pet slop Two Legs feed you. Hollyleaf told them. Twilight knew that her new body would have different taste buds and would be adapted to eating it, but Twilight was still reluctant. Uh, we have to eat to keep up our strength, she said. Then, to slow her conviction, she bent down and took a bite. The others looked away as she chewed, as the predicament her new body had changed taste buds, making it easier to eat. What? I have no idea what I just read. As she predicted, her new body had changed taste buds, blah blah blah, make it easier to eat. Yeah, okay. Finally, she swallowed it and turned back to the girls. So, how is it? Asked Applejack. It was actually kind of good, Twilight told them. I don't care. I don't care. I'm still not eating, said Fluttershy. Um, I don't like this any better than you do, but we gotta keep our strength up, like Twilight said, Applejack told her. I still won't do it, Fluttershy told her. I will, said Rainbow Dash, leaning in and taking a bite out of the rabbit. Ugh. Like, it's okay when I read it in the book, but when I read it with the main six, it's almost like cupcakes. Ugh. Okay. Well, I don't suppose I can be picky right now, and I've got to stop right now because I am picky about the noise. Okay, sorry about that. My sister was being annoying with those clackly things when you do flamenco and whatnot. Okay, sorry. Okay. Well, I don't suppose I can be picky right now, said Applejack, also taking a bite. Pinky took a bite without a word, and Rarity took a bite of time. But she also took a bite. Oh, took a bit of time. I took a bite of time. And Rarity took a bit of time, but she also took a bite. See, Sugar Cube, we're all eating. You should too, said Applejack, as gently as she could. Fluttershy didn't like it, but knew they were right. They had all taken several bites already, and she was still hungry. And now I've got to stop it again. Okay, I am back. Where was I? Fluttershy didn't like it, but knew they were right. They had all taken several bites already, and she was still hungry. Tentatively, Fluttershy took a small bite and ate it. She was disgusted at herself and wondered what Angel would think of her if he knew. With 6 of them together, the rabbit was quickly demolished. I'll go bury these, said Hollyleaf, taking the remains of the squirrel and rabbit and leaving. You should get some rest. You can't stay here. You can stay here for tonight. You'll need moss, though. I'm sure Briarlight can show you where to get some. It would also be good for her to get out, Jay Feather said. Briarlight, Jay Feather called. From further back in the cave, a dark brown cat they hadn't noticed before pulled herself towards them. Not walked, but pulled. She was dragging her back legs along the ground. Fluttershy let out a gasp. Are you okay? What's wrong with your back legs? She asked. They got injured when a tree fell. I can't use them anymore, Briarlight told her. Oh, that's horrible, Fluttershy said. It was, at first, Briarlight said. It meant that I could never achieve my dream of being a warrior. But Jayfeather helped me get back on my paws. He kept me going when I had given up. Now, at least I can help him with with his medicine cat duties, even if I'm not one. We should probably go get you some bedding now, Briarlight told them. Chapter 6. Warriors. As they walked, Fluttershy asked, "So what does Jayfeather do?" "Jayfeather is the medicine cat for ThunderClan. He takes care of all the injured cats, or injured and sick," Briarlight told her. "Oh, that's nice," she said. "Yeah, he helped me he helped me even though I didn't believe in myself," Briarlight told her. "Really?" she asked. "Yeah, when the tree fell and I got injured, he helped me. Even when I had given up, he didn't. He may be a bit grumpy, but he's really good at heart," Briarlight said. He seems like a really nice cat," Twilight said, catching herself at the last moment. "He is," Briarlight said. "Oh, here we are." They stopped in front of a tree that looked like pretty much any other tree in the forest. "How can you tell?" asked Twilight. "Don't worry, you'll learn the territory soon enough," Briarlight told her. "Now I'll show you how to get bedding, so you can do it yourselves later." She then took a few clawfuls of moss and squeezed the moisture out of it, then made it into a ball. All you have to do is get the water out and make it into a ball so it's easier to carry," she explained, tossing the ball over to them. "Here, let me help," Fluttershy said, walking over. "Thanks. What was your name again?" she asked. Oh, we forgot to introduce ourselves. I'm Fluttershy, and that's Twilight Sparkle, Rarity, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash," Fluttershy told her, motioning towards each of them. "Weird names," Briarlight commented as she grabbed some more moss. Fluttershy copied her, grabbing some moss and squeezing the moisture out of it. "Is this okay?" she asked. "Yeah, that's good," Briarlight told her. She set it down, and they continued until they had 6 moss balls. Moss balls. Mothballs. Okay, sorry. There, now let's get back to camp, she said. "All right, let's go," Dash said, walking off. No, wait, no, that's a... Briarlight was cut off by a yowl. "Thornbush." Lion Blaze. Lion Blaze decided he would go hunting while he pondered his new development. Right now, he was stalking a thrush. He swiftly killed it and buried it. They had yet to find the 4th cat in the prophecy StarClan had given them before, and now there was an entirely new prophecy. Lion Blaze scented a squirrel and got into the hunter's crouch. He didn't understand at all why there's so many prophecies in the first place. He wondered as he pounced on the squirrel and killed it with a swift bite to the neck. And my dog is up here being stupid. I don't know. You can probably hear the jingling of its collar. Where was I? Swift bite to neck. Okay. He decided he had caught enough and decided to head back to camp, digging up the thrush and 2 mice he had killed earlier. He entered the camp and put his catch on the fresh kill pile. He took a mouse for himself to eat and sat down with the other warriors. Warriors. As he listened to them talk, he learned the names of the 6 cats that had come here. He saw Firestar walking toward him and finished his mouth in a few bites. "Lion Blaze, I'd like to ask you to do something," he said. "What?" Lion Blaze asked. "I'd like you to help train the 6 cats that came here. There'll be a ceremony tomorrow. They won't have mentors, but the clan will teach them, and I'd like your help." Firestar told him. "All these names, they're getting all mixed up and stuttering and stuff. I don't know why, but I am." Lion Blaze knew why Firestar wanted his help. Okay," Lion Blaze. Lion Blaze said. After he buried the remains of his meal, he walked to Jay Feather's den. He saw the he saw that Jay Feather was putting cobwebs on the one called Rainbow Dash. "What happened to you?" he asked. Okay, I'd just like to stop here for a second and say there were a few missing words. There was a few missing words in that one thing I just said, and it was just really weird. I just had to make everything up. It sounded weird. So, yeah, there were missing words in the story. Like, noticeably missing words. Just a little annoying. Okay. I'll tell you what, this mouse brain ran straight into a thorn bush, Jay Feather hissed out. Well, how was I supposed to know that was a thorn bush? She retaliated. By using your eyes? He said. She huffed and let Jay Feather go about his job. Anyway, Lion Blaze interrupted, I'm here to talk to all of you. About what? Asked Twilight. Wait, I just lost my place. Oh, wait, here we go. Tomorrow, I keep wanting to say Fluttershy, I don't know why. Tomorrow, Firestar is going to have a ceremony. You shall start your training as warriors, he told them. Uh, about that, I don't want to be a warrior. I'd like to be a medicine cat, if that's all right, Fluttershy said, catching everyone's attention. Are you sure? Lion Blazed asked her. You'll have to deal with Jay Feather. Yes, I'm sure, she said. Then it's up to Jay Feather. Well, he asked his brother. Please? Asked Fluttershy. Being a medicine cat isn't easy. The whole clan depends on you. Are you sure you want to take on that responsibility? Jay Feather asked her. Yes, I'll do everything I can, Fluttershy said, determined. Very well, then. You can train to be a medicine cat, he said. Yay! Or, yay, she said. I just want to do that again. Yay! That one wasn't as good. Let me try again. Yay, she said. There we go. That one worked okay. You'll have to talk to Firestar, though, he told her. Just a second. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze. I'm going to have to stop it for a minute. I am sorry. I'm stopping so many times. It's just that there's so much noise and I can't concentrate. So, you'll have to talk to Firestar, though, he told her. I'll take care of that, Lion Blaze said. Can I talk to you for a moment? Okay, Jay Feather said, following him to the back of his den. What did you say? Well, why did you say yes so easily? Lion Blaze asked. We both know you don't want an apprentice yet. Yes, it's... I'm gonna start over. Why did you say yes so easily? Lion Blaze asked. We both know you don't want an apprentice yet. Because it'll be easier to find out who they are, Jay Feather explained. And besides... Besides what? He asked. I felt strong determination from her, Jay Feather said, revealing what his powers had told him. I see. I'm going to talk to Firestar now. But before I go, I just want you to know if you've figured out who the fourth cat is yet. No, wait. But before I go, I just want to know, have you figured out who the fourth cat is yet? Lion Blaze asked. No. I'll tell you when I learn something, Jay Feather said, with a bit of annoyance in his voice. All right, he said, and left. Chapter 7. Fluttershy's Nightmare. The sun was setting, casting shadows all around the camp. Firestar had been informed by Fluttershy's decision, and right now Jay Feather and the other 6 were sitting in his den. He had just finished a bowl and was lying in his nest. Fluttershy let out a yawn. You should get some rest, he told her. You start training tomorrow, and as it just so happens, it's the half moon. What's so special about a half moon? She asked. The half moon is when all the medicine cats go to the moon pool to share dreams with StarClan, Jay Feather told her. What's the StarClan? Asked Twilight. StarClan is where cats go to after they die. It's where our ancestors live, Jay Feather told them. Medicine cats communicate with them and read signs sent from them. You should get some rest. You have a long journey tomorrow. Okay, said Fluttershy, laying down in her nest. The others quickly followed suit. It didn't take too long before Fluttershy started becoming sleepy, and she drifted off to sleep. Fluttershy's eyes fluttered open, and she expected to be in the medicine cat den, but instead she found herself in a forest. This wasn't any normal forest, though. It was completely dark. No light shone down from the starless sky. Fluttershy felt something off about it, even more so than the Everfree. Fluttershy immediately knew she wasn't supposed to be here, and she started to back up. She bumped into something and let out a squeak, quickly turning around to see it was only a tree. Then the tree took on the appearance of a monster with big pointed teeth. Fluttershy quickly turned around and ran away into the undergrowth. She didn't know how long she was running, but she had to get away. Finally, she stopped, gasping for breath. She was still in the dark woods. It seemed that no matter how far she ran, she couldn't get out. It was then that she heard voices. They were too far away to make out what they were saying, so she carefully crept towards them. After a little while, the voices settled into recognizable words. Go for the neck if you can, said one voice. It was cold and hard, sending a shiver down her spine. But she continued anyway. She reached a bush, and the voices were really loud. She stuck her head out to see a clearing filled with cats. Always go for the kill, said a large brown tabby. Fluttershy gasped as she saw two cats fighting. She could even smell blood. He must have heard her, though, because his ears twitched. He sniffed the air and growled, looking at the exact spot she was hiding in. He turned to a smaller town tabby and said nothing. She gasped again as he stood up and started walking toward her. Fluttershy quickly backed up against a tree, the bushes rustling, and she didn't waste any time turning around and bolting through the forest. She ran as hard as she could, but she could hear the paw steps of the large Tom right behind her. She pushed herself harder, but the paw steps became closer and closer. Finally, Fluttershy was tackled from behind and thrown on the ground. She felt claws digging into her pelt, making her bleed. She wailed out in pain. The brown cat leaned down and spoke. Well, what do you have here? Well, what do we have here? A spy? He said. No, I'm not. Please let me go, she said, struggling against him. Oh, but what kind of warrior would I be if I let my prey go? He said menacingly, digging his claws deeper, elacing more wails of pain from her. I'll make you into an example, he hissed, raising his head for the death strike. Then, just before he plunged his teeth into her neck, she jolted awake. She sat up, breathing hard. She winced at the pain from her wounds. Wait. Wounds? That wasn't just a dream, was it? Suddenly, she was aware of the presence of her friends and Jayfeather. Fluttershy was so relieved to see them that she flung herself onto Rainbow Dash, sobbing. Fluttershy, said Dash. Oh, Dash, I was so scared, she sobbed. What happened? Asked Dash, concerned. It was horrible, cried Fluttershy. Jayfeather stepped forward. Tell us what happened. We need to know, he said. I was in a forest and it was dark. Then I saw these cats talking about fighting and killing, and one chased after me. It was horrible. She choked out. Jayfeather let out a sigh. I was afraid this was going to happen, he said. What do you mean? What was that place? Asked Twilight as he got cobwebs and applied them to Fluttershy's wounds. It's time you know who we're going up against, he told them. That place is known as the Dark Forest. And that is the end of the whole story. For now, it's incomplete, so I don't know if he's going to have more or not. I don't know. And then there's this extra one, which is just fan art, which is really odd. Like, the only one I really like is actually this last one, and it's a shipping. Yes, a shipping of Rainbow Dash and J Feather. Exactly. So yeah, interesting. So I guess we couldn't. I know exactly what story I'm doing next. So this gone on for a while. So until the next story, or you can listen to my other stories. Blah blah blah. I will see you guys later. Brony on.